All right, it's time to begin. So I'd like to thank everybody for coming to the first ever Up and Moving Zoom workout, whether you're watching on Zoom or on Facebook Live. We're super excited to be able to have this opportunity to promote exercise as a form of medicine, especially during the pandemic. My name is Jamie Phillips. I am a master's student in the kinesiology program. I'm from Toronto, Canada, and I'm super excited to be one of the co-hosts.
My name is Jenna Phelps. I'm also a kinesiology grad student, and I'm from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Also happy to be here on this nice Saturday morning.
And behind the scenes, I don't know if she's going to talk, but we have Ari. She's our tech support guru, so everything, you can see her hand, everything that could go wrong, she's going to take care of it, but I think this is going to be a smooth stream. So if you got the email blast, there was a reminder to grab any household items you can use as weights if needed. So we have a backpack, we have some chickpeas, and if some people are fortunate enough to have any dumbbells or light weights at their house, you can use those as well. And a sturdy chair. So don't make the mistake of having wheels in your chair. If you have to put any weight on it, we don't want it slipping out. We want everyone to be safe at home. So if you're ready to join, we're going to start with a quick 5-minute warm-up. So we're just going to start by walking in place. If you want to walk in circles around your room, walk in circles. For us, things are a little tight here, but we're just going to walk in place. You don't have to worry about getting your knees super high. Just keep a normal walk. Just trying to get the blood flow moving, warm up our joints and our muscles so that when we get into the exercise, we're feeling good. I know myself, I have a few knee cracks and creaks. Then we're going to move and do some high knees. So only go as high as comfortable for you. If you can only get a couple inches off the ground, that's okay. If you feel like you can get your knee to your chest, do that. Always listen to your body and do whatever you think your body is going to be happy with. Awesome. We're going to do a little bit of butt kicks. So you don't have to get your heel all the way to your butt if you don't want to. If you just want to raise it a few inches, that's perfectly fine. If you want to try to kick your heel to your butt, you can do that as well. And if at any time you get thirsty or you need to stop, that's okay. Don't worry, we're going to be taking drinks at few intervals here. We might even have to stop ourselves. All right, our next one, we're going to do some upright twists. Now you have the option of putting your hands behind your head or you have your hands on your waist. All we're going to do is we're just going to keep our hips facing forward, and we're going to rotate our trunk to the side with control and to the other side. Stay in control the whole time. We don't want any jerking movements. And really try your best to keep your toes and your hips facing forward. Feel a stretch in your back, on the side muscles of your trunk. Really waking up those muscles this early Saturday morning. The next warm-up is going to be a modified Cuban press. So what we're going to do is we're going to shake our arms a little bit. We're going to have our arms at the side. Our first movement is we're going to bring our elbows up to 90, or as close as 90 as we can get them. Then, keeping our elbows in place, we're going to rotate our hands up and touch the sky. And on the way down, it's the same thing. So bring our elbows to 90, rotate down, arms to the side, and up. Touch the sky. Now, if it's uncomfortable to bring your elbows all the way to 90, that's fine. If you have to come here and rotate, that's perfectly okay with us. Do whatever is comfortable for you. 2 more full sets. Then we'll get into our last warm-up exercise. So our last one is called a hamstring scoop. Now we can do this in 2 ways. You can do it single leg or you can do it double leg. I'm going to show the double leg first and then I'm going to show the single leg. So the first one, we're going to have our feet about fist width apart. We're going to hinge slightly at the hip. We're going to keep our chest proud and we're just going to scoop our hands and come up. And scoop our hands, come up. You should feel a little stretch in your hamstrings and in your glute muscles. And if you're not feeling a stretch and you want to move on to the single leg, all you're going to do is going to put one leg in front of you, heel on the ground, toe up, same thing. We're going to hinge at the hip, keep our chest proud, and then we're going to scoop. And you'll really feel that stretch in the heel leg, right through the calf, all the way through the hamstring. And you can alternate legs if you're doing the single leg. If you're doing double leg, don't need to alternate. Make sure you're keeping that chest up. Try not to round in your back. Only go as deep as you need to go. No need to touch the floor on this one. It's just a warm-up. All right, so hopefully everyone's feeling warm. I know I am. I'm sweating a little bit. Jenna, how are you doing?
I'm sweating.
I'm sweating. So if you need a drink, don't hesitate to take a drink at any time. So we're going to get into our full working sets. How we're going to do this is we're going to have 2 exercises per set, and then we're going to go through each set of exercises 3 times. And how we're going to explain it is we're going to show there's multiple variations of each exercise. We're going to show the easiest one first, and then we're going to show the harder ones as it gradually steps up. Then for you at home, you can choose which variation you would like to do and which one's the most comfortable for you. So our first one, for those that are watching that might be restricted to sitting in a chair, we're going to have a seated bench press. So if you feel like you need to use weights, I'm going to use the cans of soup. If weights are a little too much, that's perfectly okay. All you're going to do is sit in your chair. If you're restricted to your chair, bend back slightly and press up. And we're going to do 8 to 10 reps of that. Now, if that's too easy for you, we can move to a wall. So hopefully there's a sturdy wall in your room. And we're going to do wall push-ups. So you're going to put your hands about shoulder width apart. Stand back a few feet. The further back you go, the harder it's going to be. The closer you are to the wall, the easier it's going to be. And all you're going to do is bend your elbows and towards the wall and then push up. And we're going to do 8 to 10 reps of that. The next variation is going to be a chair push-up. So using your sturdy chair, Jenna's going to demonstrate. Put your hands on the side or wherever you feel comfortable. Bend your elbows, keeping your body tight in a straight line and doing a push-up. If you can go all the way to the chair, that makes it more difficult. That's up to you. If not, don't worry about it. And our last variation is going to be a full push-up on the floor, hands shoulder width apart. You can either go on your knees to make it easier, or if you're really feeling it today, you can go on your toes and do a complete push-up. We're going to do 8 to 10 reps of that, and then we're going to move into our next exercise, which we'll explain after. So hopefully you at home, choose which variation you're most comfortable with, and we're going to begin. So Jenna, which one are you going to do?
I'm going to go with the chair push-up.
You're going to go with the chair push-up. I'm going to go with the traditional push-up. 8 to 10 reps. As soon as, at your own pace, as soon as you're done, we're going to meet back and move to the next exercise. Awesome job, everybody. Push-ups can be challenging, but hopefully you find a variation that challenges you just a little bit, but isn't too hard that you can't complete your 8 to 10 reps. So it's time to move on to our second exercise, is going to be a row. So once again, we're going to show the easiest variation, and we're going to work our way up from there. The first one is for those that are confined to their chairs. Whether you want to use a weight or not, that's up to you. It's just going to be a single arm seated upright row. So sit up, chest as straight as you can. You're going to have your arm at your side, and you're just going to bend at the elbow. We're going to do 8 to 10 reps of that. For those of us that are not confined to our chair, we're going to do the first variation is going to be a standing, straight up, upright row. So same thing. We're going to bend at the elbow, keeping our chest upright. The next variation, where it's slightly more difficult, is going to be a 45-degree upright row. So we're going to hinge at the hip. We're going to keep our chest proud and our shoulder blades together. So squeeze our shoulders together. And then we're going to row. And then if you want to make it even more difficult, you can come all the way to 90 and do your row. And if you want to add more resistance, you can grab a heavier object, like your backpack that's full of textbooks or Harry Potter books or whatever novels you want to use. That's how we're going to start. So we're going to do 8 to 10 reps on each arm, and then we're going to come back on a rest. So choose your variation. I'm going to do the 45-degree upright. Jenna, what are you going to do?
I'm going to do standing upright with my soup hands.
Standing upright with the soup. So on 8 to 10 reps each arm, and then we'll meet back. Guys, ready? Let's begin. Make sure you keep that chest proud. I know Isaac's on this call. He likes to say, have a Superman chest, like you're Superman ripping open your shirt. Or I guess you're Clark Kent ripping open your shirt to show everyone you're Superman. Or Lois Lane. Switch sides whenever you're ready. 8 to 10 on the opposite arm. Awesome job. If you need to get a drink, take a drink. I know I need one. Hopefully at home you don't have to wear a mask. For us, fortunately, we have the social distance, so it is a little sweaty and hot in here with our masks on. So now that we know our 2 exercises, we have 2 more sets of each. So let's go back into our push-up variation that's right for you. I'm going to do 1 set of wall push-ups. Jenna, which set are you going to do?
I'm going to go on the ground for a full push-up.
Jenna's going to do full push-up on the ground. So 8 to 10 reps, and then we'll meet back before we go into our single arm rows. Are you ready? Let's begin. Now we're showing you all the variations. You know, it's awesome if you can be consistent and do the same one through the 3. But if it's not challenging enough, feel free to go to the next difficulty. But if that difficulty maybe you started with is a little too much, there's nothing wrong with going down and getting stronger at the other variation. Any exercise is better than none, and you're going to get improvements no matter which one you do. So let's move back into our single arm rows. I'm going to do another set of 45 degrees with my backpack. Ready? Let's begin. Keep that chest proud. Really focus on squeezing those shoulder blades. As soon as you've done 8 to 10 on your first arm, Let's move into our second arm. Great job, everyone. If you need a drink, take a quick drink. We have one more set of push-ups. I'm going to do my last set on the wall again. Jenna, which one are you going to do?
I'm going to go back to the chair push-ups.
Back to the chair push-up. All right, everybody. Last set, 8 to 10 push-ups. Let's start. Only go as deep as you can go. No need to push beyond what's uncomfortable. Great job. Our last set of rows. I'm going to finish off with the same movement I was doing before. Jenna, which one are you choosing?
I'm going to stand up again this time.
Standing. All right. Let's get our first arm. 8 to 10. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Superman chest. Keep controlling our rows. Don't forget to breathe. Don't hold your breath as you go through the set. Great job, everyone. Get a drink if you need it. We're going to take a quick 30-second break before we move on into our second set of exercises. I hope everyone at home is having a good time. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to unmute your mic, or you can type your question into the chat, and tech support guru Ari will answer your question. All right, our second set of exercises, we're going to be working on our legs. We don't skip leg day here at Up and Moving. So once again, we're going to show you the easiest variations, and then we'll transition into the harder ones. So for those sitting at home, we're going to be working on a modified squat. So since you're already sitting, if you're at home, what you're going to do is you're going to push your feet into the ground and try your best to raise your butt off the chair. If you have to use your hands or your arm support to help you, that's okay. Push up and down. If that's too difficult, just focus on lifting your legs off the ground as high as you can. Our next variation is going to be a quarter squat. Now you can use your chair for support if you want. If not, if you're comfortable doing the squat without support, even better. So our first one, I'm going to show it with support. Jenna's going to show it without support. And all we're going to do is we're going to have our feet about hip width apart. If your toes are out and that's more comfortable for you, that's no problem. If you like your toes facing straight forward, that's also okay. We only want to do what's comfortable for us. So with support, we can have our hands on the chair. Without support, like Jenna, no hands. And all we're going to do is we're going to squat to 45 and come up. And so we're going to bend our knees, kind of like you're sitting down without getting all the way down. If that's too easy, our next variation is a half squat. So it's the same movement. You can do it supported or unsupported, but you're going to sit all the way down so that your knees and your thigh create a 90-degree angle. And our last one is going to be a full squat. This is where your butt goes below your knee. You can do it supported or unsupported. Now, you have weights at home. If you're comfortable using a weight, don't hesitate to use a weight, but there's no pressure. Only do what's comfortable for you. So I'm going to do some weights with the backpack, and I'm going to do full squats with the backpack to show kind of what that looks like. Jenna, which one are you going to choose?
I'll do a half squat first.
Jenna's going to do an unsupported half squat. Now, if you can either have your backpack on your back or hold it in front of you, it doesn't really matter. So we're going to do 8 to 10 sets. We'll meet back here after your 8 to 10. Ready? Let's begin. Stay with control. Try not to drop down too fast. Awesome job. Whew, my legs are already feeling it. So our second exercise in this superset is going to be a side-to-side lunge. So if you're seated and have to remain seated, what we're going to work on, keeping our chest upright. You can use your hands, your arm supports, or you can use the bottom of your chair like we are. And all you're going to do is you're going to extend your leg to the side and bring it back. And extend your other leg to the side and bring it back. For those of us that are standing, we can do this exercise supported with a chair or unsupported. And what we're going to do, Jenna's going to show us unsupported, I'll show us supported. Standing, feet hip width apart again. And we're going to take a small step to the side. We're going to bend our support leg, keep our opposite leg straight, and come up. And switch sides. If you feel like you can get a little more range of motion, you can take a wider step and get deeper. Only go as wide and as deep as you feel comfortable with. You should feel this as a stretch in the inside of your leg. So 8 to 10 reps on each side, and then we'll meet back. I'm going to do supported wide leg variation. Jenna?
I'm going to do a short step out, unsupported.
Unsupported. So 8 to 10 total reps. Ready? Let's begin. We're getting a really good stretch. Keeping our chest upright. We don't want to hunch our back. You can keep your hands in front of you if you're going unsupported, or you can go on your hips. Or if you're really feeling adventurous, you can go hands behind your head. And once again, you can do this exercise with weight if you find that it's too easy. Whew. Sweating a little.
Yep.
All right, if you need a drink, take a drink. We're going to get back into our squats. I think I might take a quick drink here before we begin. Hydration is very important. And I am going to need to rehydrate after today. All right. I'm going to go back into my full set of squats, weighted, but now I'm going to keep the weight in front of me. Which variation, Jen, are you doing?
I'm going to go with the half squat again, but I'm going to use a little bit of weight this time.
Perfect. Ready? 8 to 10 squats. You can have your hands on your head. You can have them on your hip. You can have them in front of you. Some people even find it more comfortable to kind of use your arms to give you a little momentum to come up. That's perfectly okay with us. Whatever feels the most comfortable. Are you ready? Let's begin. Only going as deep as comfortable for you. Awesome job, everyone. Let's move back into our lunges. I'm going to continue with the supported set. Jenna's really feeling it today. I think she's going to go unsupported again. Ready? 8 to 10 a leg. Let's begin. You need to use that chair for support to bring you up. That's what it's there for. If not, really drive through your bent knee to kind of push your body back up to standing. Make sure you don't forget to breathe. I know sometimes when I'm working out, I get so focused and I realize I'm holding my breath. Always make sure you're breathing. We don't want anyone getting too lightheaded. All right, we have one more final set of squats. I think I'm going to stick with the backpack one again.
I'm going to go weighted again with the half squat.
Weighted again with the half squat. Saturday is a great day to get our legs moving. And we now have snow, so pretty soon we're going to have to be trotting our way through a couple feet of snow. So let's get our leg muscles strong and prepared for this winter. Are you ready? 8 to 10 set reps. Let's begin. Or you can put your hands wherever's comfortable for you. I'm going to try. What does it feel like with my hands behind my ears? Try not to have your knees over your toes in the squat. We don't want to put too much pressure on our knees and our ankles. All right, last set of lunges. Staying with the supported today. I need a little extra help on these ones. Jenna's going to go unsupported. I'm going to give her some room. 8 to 10 per leg. Let's begin. I'm going to try going one hand supported to give myself a little bit more of a challenge. Always find new ways to modify my exercises. So I do what's challenging for me, but still comfortable for me. If you have to use your hand to help you push up with your thigh, that's okay too. If not, keep your hands either supported or in the air. Or behind your ears, wherever you feel most comfortable. Whew, good set. Take a quick drink. 30 seconds before we go into our final working set of today. Whew. You having fun, Jenna?
I'm having so much fun.
Having so much fun. Hope everyone home is having as much fun as we are. We're super excited for this opportunity to help bring some exercise into the community, into your homes. Really encourage getting as physically active as we can, especially during this pandemic time where we are limited with the amount of things we can do and our social distance restrictions. All right, our last working set, our first exercise. We have three variations. For those of us that are restricted to our chairs, we're going to work on a slight little hip hinge. So if we're sitting in our chairs, we can use our armrests or the bottom of our chairs to support us. We're going to keep that chest proud, so that Superman chest. And all we're going to do is we're going to hinge at the hip and as low as it feels comfortable for us and come up. You should feel a little stretch in your glutes and a little under your hamstrings, keeping that chest straight. If you can go lower, go lower. If it's comfortable to make your legs a little wider, you can make your legs wider. Next variation is similar to our hamstring scoops. And what we're going to do is it's going to be a standing hip hinge. So our feet hip width apart. And all we're going to do is we can put our hands again behind our ears. our hips are in front of us. If we want to hold some weight, definitely hold some weight if you want. All we're going to do is same motion. So we're going to keep that chest proud, and we're going to hinge at the hip only to what's comfortable. So these are what's called a standing good morning as well. We want to push our butt back so that we feel that stretch in our butt and our hamstrings. Now, if that's too easy, we're going to move onto the floor for a glute bridge. So we're going to come into a supine position. So on our backs, we're going to have our hands out to the side and flat, or palms flat on the floor, knees up, heels and toes flat. And what we're going to do is we're going to engage our core. So squeeze your core muscles together, kind of like you're bracing for Mike Tyson to come box on your core. And then we're going to drive through our heels, and we're going to lift our butt off the ground and come down. Now, when we come down, don't slam your body back to the floor. Come down with control. A gentle touch, and come up. And we're going to do 8 to 10 reps at whatever variation. I'm already on the floor, so I'm going to do the glute bridges. Jenna's standing. Looks like she's going to do the unweighted hip hinge. 8 to 10 reps with control. Are you ready? Let's begin. Try to be only go as high as you need to. If you're doing glute bridges, you want to remain comfortable. If you can only hover a few inches off the ground, that's awesome. If you can go all the way up, that's awesome too. Same if you're doing the standing hip hinge, only go as low as you need to go. So now you've done 8 to 10. We have one last exercise in this set. We're going to show it for those that are seated. It's going to be much similar to our squat variation. But what we're going to do, instead of pushing our feet into the floor or raising our bent knee, we're going to straighten one leg as best as we can. And then we're going to raise our leg off the floor. If you can come up to 90 or even get your leg off the chair, that's awesome. If not, only raise your leg as high as you can go. And on this one, we're going to do 8 to 10 reps on each leg. If you're not able to get 8 to 10 reps, don't sweat it. If you can only do 2, 3, 4, that's perfectly fine with us. Our variation for those that are on the ground, or if you were doing a standing hip hinge and it's comfortable for you to come on the ground, we're going to do something called a bent knee hover. So we're going to be lying flat, trying to keep our low back as flat to the floor as we can. And all we're going to do is we're going to bend one knee to as high as we can and back. If you can only bend it slightly, that's perfectly fine. The next more challenging variation is going to be a straight leg hover, keeping our opposite leg on the ground, alternating 8 to 10 reps a side. The next more challenging variation is putting our hands under our butt and doing the same thing. So bending our leg up, but this time our opposite leg is going to hover. And then we're going to go into some scissor kicks. And then if you're really feeling it today, you can go no hands under your butt, straight leg hover, scissor kicks. So I think I'm going to go with my hands under my butt, straight leg hover, scissor kicks. Jenna, which variation?
I'm going with the chair variation. That one looks tough.
Chair variation. All right, 8 to 10 total reps. Let's begin. Getting our ab exercises in today. Making sure that our core is strong. If you have to change your variation at any time, don't hesitate. Only do what's comfortable. Whew. Oh, my ab muscles are feeling it today. All right, back to our glute bridge or hip hinge. I'm already on the ground. I'm going to stick with the glute bridge. If you need a chance to catch your breath or take a drink, always take a drink. We're going to wait a couple seconds, and then we're going to get into our working set. All righty, 8 to 10. Let's begin. If you're doing the hip bridge, try not to let your knees collapse into the middle or let your legs come out too wide. Try to keep them in a nice straight angle. Heels on the floor, driving through those heels. Ooh, great job. Let's move into our scissor kick or ab workout exercise. I'm on the floor, so I think I'm just going to stay on the floor for all the rest of our working sets. With this one, I need to go down a little bit. I'm going to do the bent leg variation. All right, 8 to 10 a leg. Let's start. Only bring that leg or knee as high as comfortable. If you're in the chair, don't hesitate to use your armrest or the side of your chair to help support you. Whew. All right, we have one last working set for today before we get into our cool down. Hip bridge or hip hinge. 8 to 10 reps. Last set, best set. Let's have some fun. Let's finish up 8 to 10. Here we go. Great job, everyone. I know these workouts can be a little challenging, but everyone's doing an awesome job. All right, our last set of ab exercises. Let's have our best set. I'm going to stick with the knee variation. Jenna's going to stick with the seated. Ready? 3, 2, 1. 8 to 10 each leg. Squeezing our core together. Bracing for impact with our core. Only squeezing as much that's comfortable. We don't want to overdo it. We're almost there, everyone. Keep moving, about halfway. Nine for me. 10 for me. If you're still going, finish up, finish strong. And then as soon as you're done, return to our feet if you're on the floor. If you're already standing, even better, you got his beat. Get a quick drink, and we'll get into our little final cool down of the day. Whew. Hope everyone's doing good because I am sweating. I'm glad we got up this morning to exercise. Nothing like a little exercise on a Saturday morning to get the day and the weekend feeling good. All right, so the good news is our cool down is exactly the same as our warm up. So we know the exercise, we're going to skip the walking in place because we're already warm. And we're going to get into our high knees, but we don't have to have as much speed or go as high because we're just cooling down. Raise our legs. If you want to have your hands behind your head, on your hip, or just hanging out by the side. Or you can have runner arms too. It's up to you. Do whatever feels comfortable. Just letting our heart rate return to normal. We're not trying to beat Usain Bolt in this one. We're just doing a little bit of movement, bring us right back to normal. All right, into the little butt kicks. Same thing. You want to have your hands in your head. Give your shoulders a break. Hands on your waist. You're at your side like Jenna. That's okay too. Just little kicks. Just letting their body cool down. Any lactic acid that we might have built up, we're going to flush that out so that we're going to be feeling good. You won't feel too sore. Too sore at the end. All right, some upright twists. My favorite warm-up exercise. Unfortunately, I spend a little too much time sitting, so my back gets tight. We're going to let in some twists. And remember, if you're someone that works from home or you work in an office and you're sitting all day, try your best to stand up and move around every like 20, 30 minutes. Just stand up for a minute or two. Get the blood flow moving. I know sometimes you get in the zone and you forget about it, but we want to encourage movement throughout the day as much as possible. And if you're someone that has to stay seated all day, you can move your arms and move your legs. Just get some blood flow to the body. All right, let's do a couple Cuban presses. Let's get our shoulders kind of cooled down. Only go as high as you need to go. Let's do 4 or 5 Cubans. Awesome. Let's end with either a single leg or double leg hamstring scoops. I'm going to go single leg. I'm only going to do 5 reps a side. If you're doing the double leg, go for 10 total scoops. Let's get our hamstrings stretched out, especially after that squat set we had. That one's, it's always the toughest one. Usually our leg exercises. But as Jenna knows, the legs feed the wolf, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Jenna's a soccer coach here at Michigan Tech, so she's making sure all the girls are hopping onto these workouts, hopefully.
Heck yeah.
Joining on championship season. All right, everyone. Shake it out. Relax your muscles. That is it for our first ever up and moving workout sessions. We are so happy you were joining us. If you found value and you enjoyed this, please share it with your friends. We're on Facebook, our website. Now we have this recording. We're going to put these videos on YouTube, and you can go back and do them at any time. I'd like to thank Ari for being here. I don't know if she wants to pop into the screen or not. Jenna, thank you very much. Dr. Elmer is behind the scenes for putting us together, and the rest of the up and moving team. I know Isaac's on this call, so thank you for Isaac for being here. We hope everyone remains safe in the pandemic. We really want to encourage the 3 or 4 W's, and those are wear a mask, wash your hands, watch your distance, and the 4th one you may not know is to walk or to remain physically active. We really want to encourage being as active as possible during this time. So if you have any questions, you can always reach out to us through the Up and Moving website. Once again, tell your friends. But thank you very much, and give yourself a big round of applause for joining the first ever Up and Moving workout. We hope to see you guys Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. There's a schedule on the website. We'll sending out. And if you stay up to date on Facebook, all your information will be there. So thank you guys for joining us. It was a 45-minute workout. Hopefully you have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you on Tuesday.
Thank you.